that was right when couple weeks or months before that, I just started kind of hitting the gym hard again, had some goals in the gym, like, okay, I want to back squat 500 and stuff like that. So I was running a squat cycle. I was hitting some hard intervals. Like I was training, and then just a fluke accident, just everything went all at once. And yeah, that was tough because then it's like, you're 6 months of not doing a fucking thing. Um, just PT for 6 hours, 8 hours a day. And then when you start getting back in, it's like I've been doing the Olympic lift since I was 12 years old. Like there's probably been more days that I've squatted than not since I was 12 years old, So now it's like this is the first like big knee injury that I've had, and it's like shit, it's different, it's just not the knee that I knew that I had. It doesn't, it's still fully capable, but it didn't feel the same. It wasn't the knee that I knew my entire life. So that kind of shook me. But give it enough time. It was like I was just more expecting like the between the 6 and 9 month mark to start feeling more like myself. But for me, it was actually more between like the probably the 12 and 15 month mark. Um, so just still kind of easing back from that. Because so when I blew out my knee, Sammy was pregnant, and like literally I blew out my knee. There wasn't a single tear, there wasn't a single concern. I remember sitting down and being like, everything in that knee is gone. It is just a tube of skin holding everything together. And I was like, that sucks. But that's where it ended. I was like, this isn't going to affect my livelihood. This isn't going to affect my career. This isn't going to affect, it literally is just going to be a couple shitty months of recovery. And I'm okay with that. I can deal with that. Like I've had injuries before, and it's like almost what a relief that I don't have to rush back from this surgery. I don't have to rush back for the next competition. And so got the surgery, and then but I saw the effect that it had on people around me. And so like it affected my mood. Obviously, it fucking sent me into a spiral. But then Sammy's 5 months pregnant, having to like shovel the driveway and shit like that. And it was just like, okay, this is no longer just about me. This is like I have a family that I need to look out for. And this isn't fair to Sammy to be dealing with this when she should be focusing on just raising a healthy baby. And so that was another big motivator when I came back of like, I'm used to rushing back. I'm used to getting back, even trying to shave off a day here or there. And so when I was coming back from my knee, it was like, nope, we're taking our time. Health and like longevity are the number one priorities. I'm not concerned about how quickly can I get back up to a 405 back squat. I don't give a shit. So I am back to it now, but I wasn't in a hurry for it. So that kind of affected my training a bit for a good while there. But now it's kind of back to the normal thing. Hour and a half typically, a little bit of weightlifting, a little bit of cardio, a little bit of gymnastics, just kind of well rounded.
Well, I'm glad you're able to get through it, man. I know that those knee injuries are crazy. I remember playing, ball in college. We'd be in the training room, and you'd have someone that just had an ACL surgery, and they'd put the curtain around them, and like they'd start cranking on it, and they'd like, you know what I mean? They would just be screaming because they're trying to get that range of motion back. And fortunately, I've never had a knee injury, but I'm a shoulder injury guy. But I know that shit sucks, man. I want to ask a question about competing. Do you ever get the itch when you're around it to like, does it bring back the old like, oh, maybe I can make another run at this? Because I'll give you like the quick story. I was at Ohio State's football stadium a couple weekends ago for the Zach Bryan concert, and I'm 36 years old, well past my playing days. That ended when I was 22, and to this day, if I'm around a football stadium, it spins up these emotions of like me thinking I can still play, and it's ridiculous. I'm 36, I'm washed up, there's no chance. But even at Ohio State, one of the best programs in the country, I went and hit a lift in their rec center the morning of the concert, and it's across the street from the stadium. So through the glass, I'm doing bench press and I'm squatting, and I see the opening of the horseshoe. You can see into the field, right? And I'm getting all worked up, like it's preseason's coming, they're about to be reporting back to camp, and every August my biological clock starts saying like it's preseason camp, like I should be at camp right now
doing camp, baby,
doing board drills and the 3-a-days and watching tape, and the sweaty O linemen and just all the smells and everything. And it's just so funny. I'm like, I'm literally at the, one of the top programs in the country, and I'm under this weird illusion that like I can now still play, even though I never even played at that level. I was Division I AA. You know what I mean? So I'm just curious. I think that's maybe a dude thing that like maybe we never shake. So when you go to like semifinals and you're at the CrossFit Games up in the stands watching, your athletes go, be real with me. What's going through your head?
Not the same. What's going through your head?
That's when you're a 5-time champ.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe it's because I was just fucking average, so I still think I got meat on the bone, man.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like there have been times where like a workout will get announced at the games, and I know I'm like, oh, if I were competing, I would have loved this one. Like, oh, I would have had fun with this one. I would have thrived at this. I would have done really well. Like that's in my wheelhouse. But no part of me is like missing it. Um, and I think because CrossFit for me was the second wind. I had what I thought was a full sports career with weightlifting, and then came to the end of that. It didn't really end on my terms. It didn't really end the way I wanted it to. It didn't end when I wanted it to. Anything like that. But I I don't know whether I had the foresight of like, well, what am I going to do when I'm 40? Like, I need to have a job, and I know what I want my life to look like in terms of standard of living and all that type of stuff. So it was easier to step away from that to focus on school. So I thought my sports career was done. Like I was 20, 21, 22 years old, and I was like, nope, time to focus on school, time to be an adult. And so then when CrossFit started, it was everything at that point was just a bonus. Like I remember competing on the weekends in the very, very beginning, and like little local competitions. You're in parking lots and stuff. And it's like, even those, I was so grateful to be there because I thought my days were done. And then so you start going to the games, start winning the games, and it's like, holy shit, like how did this happen? Like that, like I I think it was because of my weightlifting career, I knew how to appreciate, or I knew, how special that was. But also I knew it was going to end. Like there was no lie, there's no doubt in my mind. I'm like, no, within a couple years, this is going to end. And a couple years in the grand scheme of life, boom, like you